Hello, it's Mr. Schneider. This is podcast 6.2. Hopefully, you're enjoying your Sunday night. You're getting ready for the Model Congress tomorrow. So, let's talk about the Virginia executive branch. It's obviously run by our governor, who gets his power from our state's constitution. Let's talk about some of the jobs governor does. He's the chief of state, he's the ceremonial head of government, he's a symbol of Virginia, participates in many ceremonies. So this is a ceremony from 2008 with the reopening of Mount Pelier, which is James Madison's estate. Our governor then was Tim Kaine.
One last thing to do, of course, is we got to cut a ribbon. Y'all can have a seat. You can have seats, by the way.
Governor Kaine is the one on the screen on the right holding the scissors. I guess sometimes you need a really big pair of scissors. All right. The governor is also the chief legislator. The governor can actually propose legislation in Virginia. And again, he signs or vetoes legislation much like the president does.
Virginians deserve to know that their elected officials are representing the Commonwealth first. It's been shown recently that requiring Virginia politicians to report gifts they receive is not enough. We need real accountability. That's why, in April, I proposed a ban on all gifts over $100 to elected officials. By enacting a ban on gifts over $100 to Virginia's elected officials, we can aim to avoid conflicts of interest going forward. And I'd go a step further. Instead of only proposing a policy and waiting for the General Assembly to act, I am promising to apply the gift ban to myself and my family immediately through executive order upon taking office. While I will work to ensure that the General Assembly passes the reforms, I won't wait for them. State Senator Mark Herron, the Democratic candidate for Attorney General, and State Senator Ralph Northam, the Democratic candidate for Lieutenant Governor, have made the same pledge. I was disappointed that my opponent, Ken Cuccinelli, won't support a ban on gifts for elected officials. I urge him to reconsider on this important step for accountability. This issue is too important to wait to act. Virginia's elected officials should be willing to lead by example. And as your governor, that's exactly what I'll do.
All right, there's Senator McAuliffe, and I'm sure as you realize, a large part of that has to do with our former governor, Bob McDonnell. All right, he's also our chief administrator. He enforces, carries out the state laws. He also gets to appoint cabinet members. He appoints other people. And he gets to manage state departments and agencies. Obviously, he has people working for him. The governor can't do all those things, but he's head of the executive branch. Oops.
I'm confident that these new members of the CTB will make this their top priority in their new roles. I am honored today to announce the appointments of Shannon Valentine, Hap Connors, Jim Dyke, Marty Williams, Scott Kaplowitz, and Court Rosen to the Commonwealth Transportation Board. These individuals represent many regions of the Commonwealth, and they all are committed to finding the best and most innovative ways to improve our transportation infrastructure in every community across Virginia.
All right, he's also the party chief. He's the leader of the Virginia Democratic Party, so he holds fundraisers, speaks for candidates. So what we're actually going to see here is a rally for Governor McAuliffe. Before he's governor, but just listen to all the delegates that are there, all the school board members that are there for him.
Everybody And thank you everyone for being here. And we have to give a shout out for Alfonso Lopez. And I'm happy to introduce Delegate Vivian Watt. Delegate Bob Brink. Delegate Mark Keene. Senator Richard Sasloff. Sheriff Beth Arthur. And Arlington School Board member Abby Raphael. And I'm so happy to be here in support of our next governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe. You know,
And then finally, he is the commander-in-chief. He's the head of the Virginia's military, any reserves, the National Guard. He can call them out, and usually they help with government jobs or natural disasters. He's not sending the National Guard into invading North Carolina or things like that. So while he is a commander-in-chief, again, it's not the same job as the president.
Soldiers assigned to the Virginia National Guard's counter-drug program teamed up with the Drug Enforcement Administration to properly dispose of nearly 9,000 pounds of unwanted, unused, and potentially dangerous drugs. Staff Sergeant Tara Gotti has more.
The drugs were collected as part of the DEA's National Drug Take-Back event, which aims to properly dispose of drugs to avoid abuse and environmental contamination.
Pharmaceutical drugs are becoming a popular drug of abuse for youth. There's also a lot of accidental issues with drugs that are in medicine cabinets that have been left there for years. Kids get into them, older people mix up their prescriptions. It's also an environmental issue. A lot of it is disposed of improperly. It impacts the environment negatively.
117 law enforcement agencies, including police departments, sheriff offices, and military installations, joined together at 160 collection sites throughout Virginia to collect drugs. From Richmond, Virginia, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Tara Gotti.
And then finally, the governor has lots of people working under him. Their jobs are to things administer, enforce the law, regulate business, economy, education, provide services. And here's a list of the current governor's cabinet. Let me move this over so you can see it. Sorry. So there's chief of staff and secretaries of agriculture and commerce, and there's the secretary of education. Her name is Ann Holton. Take a look at our website. And anything you want to know about this education in Virginia, you can go there. There's some recent news. All right. So that's the executive branch of Virginia, podcast 6.2. I'm glad you watched it. Take care. I will see you in class. Sorry about that. Here's some of the different cabinet members. You see Commonwealth, Education, Finance. These are all people that work under the, appointed by and work under the governor. And if you go to look at Education, here's Ann Holton. Talks about what she's done. She's born and raised in Virginia. And then here's her website showing what she's done, what the Department of Education does, things like that. All right, so thanks for all your hard work, guys. This is podcast 6.2 again, and I'll see you in class. Bye.